What's up, everybody? Kellen from Action Backers here. Hopefully you're doing well. So the first week of the Bankroll Challenge is in the books, and it was an interesting one. So let's get right into it. We'll cover the first couple days of the challenge. I'll go into showing you how I actually made my bets, and then we'll just jump back in and talk about the profit and loss and what actually went on this week. See you inside. All right, so day one, it's Friday, April 7th. Happy Good Friday for those who celebrate Easter. It's about 5 minutes after 11. And so I'm just gonna give like a quick walkthrough today and show how I'm gonna make the picks. Every day won't be this in depth, but I think because we're starting off, it's good so you can see. And I apologize in advance for this layout. I know it's kind of janky, but it's the best I can do. I'm working with one monitor right now. So you can see I've got a brand new Action Backers account, and then I have my FanDuel account loaded up with just $100 like we talked about. So there's no bets on my Action Backers, and there's $100 in the bank account. And all I'm gonna do is go to the model section on Action Backers, and I'm just gonna use FanDuel. Of course, you can switch depending on your location. You can set your favorite sportsbook, but I'm just going to use FanDuel, and I'm just going to choose MLB. And here we have all of the MLB bets, and I've set it to a Kelly that I'm comfortable with, and I'll just zoom in quickly so you can see there. If you're unsure how this works, just go check out some of my longer videos explaining this. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make the bets based on whatever the Kelly value tells me to. And I have it set to 1/8 Kelly. I don't want to go larger than that. What that means is in the beginning, the bets are going to be really small because we're working with a $100 bankroll, right? So even this Mets bet, if I take this Mets bet, that's $3.78 I'm going to be betting. So nothing crazy. But the idea is that it will compound over time. The only thing I'm going to look at is in some cases, like this Mets bet, where the odds already suggest that they have almost a 61% win probability, juice-free win probability. All of the value in the model where this Kelly is coming from is the model expecting them to win even higher than that, which is, I don't like to lay that much juice. The difference between them winning 61% of the time and 75% of the time, they're still going to lose often, and you're laying a lot of juice. But because we're just kicking this off, what I might do in this case is I'm just going to take the run line. It's probably not the best, but I'm going to do it anyways. So I've clicked here, added the run line, and this is telling me 3.78%. We're working with $100, so that's really easy. So I'll just do $3.78. And then I'll just come over to FanDuel, and I'll find the game. And again, the minus 1.5. And I'll make sure that the odds are the same. So it looks like they are 2.2, and again I'll just say 378. I won't submit anything yet, just like I won't submit anything over here. I just want to make sure I don't run out of bankroll, which is a possibility. And then I'm just going to go through each of these for the most part and make the bets. I could, what I might do is come back later for like the night games, just to see if the lines moved at all and see if things change up, especially after pitchers get announced. So I might just do the afternoon games now and just see if things change at all. So I think that's probably the best idea. So we'll go with Texas here for $1.22, and I'm just betting all straight bets, obviously. The Yankees, this is close. I'll probably just take the money line here. Still paying a decent amount of juice, but it's not as bad as what the Mets juice was. So that's for $3.33. Big bets. What can I say? And this is Canadian money too. So if you're if you're American, this is like, I don't know, 75% is what it's worth in American. So not very much at all, but that's okay. The Reds here, this is an interesting one. So this is like a good value play. We're going to be right. We're going to be wrong. We're just going to do what the model tells us. And it's still early in the season too. So that's the other thing we need to keep in mind. Who is at the Reds? And that's our biggest bet so far. So because obviously there's a lot of value on that when their price is a pretty heavy dog and the model thinks they're going to win outright, just a shade over half the time. This one's pretty close to a pick 'em. The expected value on a $100 bet is $5.79. I'm not betting 65 cents. I actually don't even think you can bet 65 cents. So I could round this up and bet $1, but it's so close here that these marginal spots, I'm not worried about this. Like it's really close. We're talking a few. Like the odds don't have them winning, and the model doesn't have them winning. It's just like 3% higher or something like that. So I'm just gonna forgo that one altogether. And this Pirates one, okay, so this is a big bet. We're getting into the $5 territory now. So this is a little bit risky. I usually would cap this at like 3%, even if Kelly was telling me to go higher. But because our bankroll is so small, we can afford to take bigger risks. We can always reload. I know that's not in the spirit of the challenge, but in real life, you could always reload. So, yeah, I'm just gonna go for it. And if it comes through, then we have a nice. Basically, that covers a bunch of our other bets, right? Who's that? The Pirates. And I'm always just making sure that my odds in action backers are still reflective of the live odds because they can change. Whoops, what was it? 551, right? The odds can change, so I could always just manually update the odds in action backers to reflect, but everything looks good so far. And the 4:30 game, same with the Royals. It's got the Royals winning outright as well. So we're on a couple big dogs here, which I like in baseball. If you followed me for any time, you know a lot of my profit in baseball is from betting big dogs. And I don't expect these to win all that often, but when they do, they pay out nicely. So we're on the Royals for $4.80 as well. I'll just add that. $4.80. Okay, so that takes us to about where I want to be. Like I said, I'll come back later and do the later games, so like 7 o'clock or 6:40 onwards. I probably won't film it. I'm not going to film all of these, but this is the general process that I'm going to go through. If any interesting spots come up, then I'll make a separate video to talk about them. But this is generally how I'm going to approach things. So right now we are placing 6 bets worth $22.49. So just over 22% of our bankroll in play, which is not great, to win $29.57. So I'm going to place those on FanDuel and confirm. And I'm just going to submit these on Action Backers as well. And you can see they're added successfully. And now if we come back to the dashboard, it will show all of these as pending bets. And the nice thing is, because it's a major sport, I've built an auto grader, so I don't have to worry about automatically updating any of this when the games end. In the background, the software will update the games, and it will show us our net profit, as well as our recent bets individually, and a nice profit graph. And then, of course, we'll have access to all of our betting history that we can look at in more depth as the challenge goes on. So that's it for this one. All right, I'm back. It's still the first day. I just want to have a quick check-in to talk about one interesting bet, and that is the Arizona Diamondbacks money line. And the reason it's interesting is that the model doesn't have them winning the game, but it has them winning more or losing less often than the odds suggest. So this is like a big dog, but there's good opportunity for profit here, but you have to have sort of thick skin or a tough stomach, because again, we're going to make this bet, and I mean, for $1.10 it doesn't matter. Imagine you were using a proper bankroll sizing, and so we're going to make this bet expecting them to lose. The model expects them to lose, but it expects them to win almost 8% of the time more than the odds suggest. So this is an interesting one. I like these ones, but again, you just have to have the right mindset that you're not going to win these that often, but when you do, there's a nice payout. So that's all I want to talk about for this one. So I'm just going to add this, and again, it's only we're risking $1.10 here, and I've added it to FanDuel already, so we're good there. But yeah, that's it for this one. So see you next time. All right, we're back. So we ended the week minorly profitable, but it was a roller coaster. So if we go to the dashboard, and I'll just move myself out of the way. This says negative because I have bets pending today at the time of filming, and we've lost our first couple, which is no good for next week. But if I just move myself out of the way, you can see here's our profit graph from the start of last week till current. And we started out hot. We're up almost 30 bucks off of our 100, so almost 30%. And then we came tumbling down, had a few big losing days, and then we sort of slowly made up the difference. And then we had a big winning day yesterday on Friday. I'm recording this on Saturday, and ended up profitable for the week by about $6, about 6% ROI. Like I said, right now, at the time of filming, we're back down a little bit because the couple early bets we had have finished and they've lost. But if we switch over, I made a little spreadsheet to just make this easier to see, and it broke down the profit by day. So you can see again the first couple days wildly profitable, and then we gave it all back and then some. So the middle of the week was really not great, but things started to turn around towards the end, and then yesterday was a big day. I realize this is more than a week, but the way we started with the season and things like that, we're going to count it as week 1. So anyways, you can see we had 76 bets. We won 33 of them. We lost 43 of them. So right away, our win percentage is sub 50%. We're only winning 43%. But the cool thing is the average odds are 2.38 in decimal odds, which works out to plus 138 in American odds. And so that means that our implied win probability on those bets is 42.1%. So we're actually above that. So we can still be profitable despite having a losing record, which if you're new here, that might seem interesting to you. But if you're not new here, if you've been following the channel or me for a while, you know that that's pretty common. And that's how I make a lot of my bets. And oftentimes we're betting underdogs. So week 1 in the books, went all right. We're just going to keep doing more of the same. I've been trying to bet the models as true to form as I can. I've been trying not to lay off of things other than what you saw, where if there's just not enough value to make it make sense. So yeah, we're going to keep going. I'm going to readjust my Kelly this week. So which I probably should have done starting today. So maybe I'll adjust my Kelly every 2 weeks, every 2 betting weeks. And so I'll just, every bet I continue to make this week will still be based off of a $100 bankroll, but then next week it'll be based off of whatever the profit or loss is. So if we're up 120, then it'll be based off $120 bankroll. If we're down to 80, it might get dicey because a lot of those bets will come in under $1, which we can't really do, but we'll figure that out. Hopefully we're not down. So that's it for this one. We'll see you in the next one.